Hello and welcome everybody. And tonight I have a very, very special guest, Gwen Acorah Johnson. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody.
And I've just
I
dropped
hope
my
you're doing
phone.
well.
I'm really having a good day so far. I got
As I
Eileen.
said before, I'm dealing with two rather nervous dogs in the aftermath of November the 5th because they don't
Oh,
appreciate the fireworks. So
oh,
hence I'm sitting in the kitchen keeping them
oh,
company.
bless you. I totally get you because if you have got a pet or even people who suffer from things as well, the fireworks they do affect people and animals, don't they? And it is sad.
Well, they do this boy. I mean, as I showed you before, sort of he's oops, where is he? There he
Oh,
is. There he
bless
is. There he
them.
is. He's not a happy boy still.
Oh, it's horrible,
So
isn't
he
it?
he's wanting company, and so
Yeah,
as I said, that's why I'm sitting here.
yeah, that's right. That's it. The family, aren't they? And I
Well,
do anything for my boy.
yeah. Dogs have always and cats. They've always been part of our family, and they're treasured as family members. The only
Yeah.
sadness is they don't last as long, sort of. But yeah, Derek and I have always treasured our animals
Yeah,
and looked on them as family members, which they are.
they are. And they have so much to give us as well, don't they?
Oh,
And
absolutely,
you have a
yeah,
bad day, you get home, and then, oh, they're there, and they're like,
yeah,
want you to
yeah,
give them a fuss,
yeah,
and then you have a
they
bad
are.
day, and you don't want to get up, and they want the food or they want the walk, and that's it, isn't it?
Well, there's no such thing as being able to have a line with these two because it's excuse you.
Bless
Isn't it
you.
enough time?
Oh, wow. Mine's absolutely great. It's easy. I don't get up early, you don't either. So it's all good. So I'm just trying to catch up on all the comments. There's so many people coming through. So quick hello to everybody. So I think, oh, yeah. So that's my boy. But yeah, hello and welcome. Hi, Phil. So if you have any questions, if you add them to the chat. But Gwen, I met you at Tutbury Castle. And
Mm,
Leslie's planted a lovely tree as a memorial to
yes,
Derek. So
yes. I'm so appreciative of that. It's such a lovely, lovely gesture
it
because
is.
it's something that will be there, and I'll be able to go and visit,
Yeah,
and
it is lovely.
yeah, it was lovely of Leslie to do that. Totally, totally unexpected. I didn't dream for a
Oh,
moment.
bless
So
you.
it was so much of a surprise when she got in contact and said that she was going to do that. It was lovely of her. I mean, Derek visited Tutbury on quite a number of
Yes.
occasions, going back to, I think, maybe 1998 was the first time he visited Tutbury when he did a program for Granada Breeze as part of Derek Acorah, Predictions with Derek Acorah. That was what it was.
Yeah.
And he used to go to various haunted locations throughout the British Isles. And it was just him on his own. He was presenting himself, and
Wow.
he was just giving off what he picked up, and that was Tutbury. But I can remember the first time he went to Tutbury. Leslie was in her Elizabeth I
Yes.
outfit, guys, whatever, and she was totally fascinating, totally,
Oh,
totally
she
fascinating,
is.
absolutely amazing. And I can remember us standing at the top of the stairs. You know where the Great Hall is, or
Yeah.
what they Hall is the Great
Beautiful,
Hall.
yeah.
And she was standing at the top of those stairs, and this enormous gust of wind came up the stairs, even
Wow.
though it was closed. And it was sort of it was just unreal. A hair blew back, sort of, and whatever it is that it wasn't a wimple. That's a nun's thing, isn't it? But her head dress, whatever,
Yeah.
blew back, and she said that happens sort of occasionally, and
Oh,
that was
wow.
our first experience of Tutbury Castle, and Derek returned on many, many occasions
Yeah.
and loved, he loved Tutbury. Yeah. It
It
was,
is a beautiful place, isn't it?
it's got such a feeling about it.
It has, yeah.
Um, it's so wonderful. And then the tower, I can remember him going into the tower as well and climbing up the stairs in the days when he could climb the
Oh,
stairs.
bless him. Yeah.
Luckily, he had a bad hip, so he couldn't. But
Yeah.
he was a lot fitter in those days, and yeah, he met somebody halfway up. I can remember. I can't remember details, but I can
Yeah.
remember him relating this meeting somebody
Wow.
halfway up the stairs. Sort of some figure from the past. Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was amazing, absolutely amazing, totally fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those steps are a nightmare, though. Don't go up there when it's, like, dark and wet. You've got no chance.
yeah, but it's strange because in a place like Tutbury that has such an enormous history, if you knew Derek, you'd know that history was his least favorite subject, and he knew nothing.
Bless
In
him.
school, he would swerve history lessons to go to football practice
Yeah.
and
He
this
was
sort of
good at
thing.
it was,
So he
yeah,
really did not like history, but some of the stuff that he came out with that I knew that he would not know, and he did
brilliant.
never read about anything. Sort of he didn't read books. He'd read the newspaper, the sports pages in the newspaper, but he didn't read books about anything. But some of the stuff that he used to come up with in places like Tutbury, it was absolutely amazing, and I knew it was coming from nowhere other than what he was being given. Sort of the fireplace in the great hall. I can't remember whether it was James the First or James the Second or whatever, because I'm not too good on history either. But
What?
I can remember him describing this small man wearing heels
Oh, okay.
and Leslie saying after, "You've connected with James the whichever it was." Yeah, yeah, totally fascinating. Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow. It's just
Yeah.
incredible what he did pick up. I met Derek once. I met him in 2019.
Mm,
Met him at Sinai House, and
right.
he was really struggling that night so much. But he really tried that night. But you knew it was his hit, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, and I've got these items in a little bag. And I says,
Yeah.
"Do you mind if you do psychometry?" And he said, "Yeah, that's fine." But I passed
Yeah.
them to him and he passed them straight back. And knowing what they are, I know why he did that. He sort of said,
Right.
"Oh, I'll see you later." And,
Yeah.
of course, like everybody wants a photo, and it was wonderful with everybody. He had all the time. He had loads of people wanting a photo, and he was just there, smiling,
Yeah.
and it was just
Yeah.
wonderful, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
my friend went to Matlock Pavilion, and Phil Newton was there that night, Patricia Ann Farrar, and he actually read for her. So when
Mm.
he was on the stage, he sort of picked up, about her family and things like that. So that was amazing. And she said, "Oh, he said I'm going to get a dog." She says, "I'm not. Yep, she's got a dog. But there you go. Barry John did that with me as well. He said I get a dog, and I said I'm not. I was like,
Yeah,
no way. And yeah, you do, don't you?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know how they found her. But Amanda, who's a great. I saw Amanda last night. I was with her at Haunted Antiques. When did Derek first know about his spirit guide? What was his first encounter?
It was before I met him, so
Oh
I'm
wow!
I'm repeating what Derek has told me, and it was he'd been involved. Derek has always been, or had always been, sensitive and aware of
Mm,
spirit from a child. I
bless
mean,
him.
he's told the story many and many a time of when he was, I think, 6 years of age, and he
Wow!
saw his grandfather, who had passed long ago, on the stairs in his grandmother's house. But and all through his footballing career, as an apprentice and a professional footballer, he always had this awareness, and um, but it was after he'd left his football, that Sam introduced himself to Derek.
Oh wow!
Um, and I suppose Derek must have been late 20s at the
Oh
time,
gosh!
although he'd been aware for sort of 20 odd years beforehand and been given messages and this sort of thing. But actually, Sam introducing himself and telling him that he was his main guide, it came when Derek was meditating,
Wow!
um, and yeah, yeah. So it was quite a long while
Yeah!
between Derek starting his career working in in
Yeah!
in mediumship, before Sam actually came to the fore and
Wow! That's
introduced
brilliant.
himself as his main guide. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I've gone down the route. I do development, but I don't know much about my guides and things like that. And maybe one day, and once you know who
yeah.
they are, it's
Well,
just
this
really
is
fascinating, isn't it?
yeah. It's I mean, all sorts of people, from what I gather and talking to different mediums and people that have developed in mediumship, everybody's story is different.
That's
Everybody's
right.
experience is different. Nothing follows a format.
No,
It's
that's
different
it.
for everybody. I mean, I used to talk to Colin Fry. We used to
Yeah.
have many
Oh,
long conversations on things, and his experience was different again. Um, Tony Stockwell,
yeah.
different
I've not met
experience
him.
altogether. Pardon?
I've not met Tony yet. He
Have you
sometimes
not? No,
no.
no,
I
no.
do know Barry John, and obviously Barry John
Oh,
did the chat.
Barry's fabulous.
Oh, it's great. It's great
We
friend.
love
He's so
Barry.
lovely. Yeah, that's it. So his speech at the Friday the 13th, and he mentioned Colin and like introduced you, didn't he? And
Yes,
oh
yes.
wow, that was just
No,
so
no.
beautiful, wasn't it?
Barry is a wonderful medium and a wonderful man. He
He
really is.
is. He is. I've
Yeah,
chatted to him
very,
quite a
very
bit
fond
about
of
him. But yeah, it was just a great time at Tutbury. We've had a few questions then. So the first one was even, um, what was Derek's favourite haunted place, haunted area?
his favourite haunted place. Ooh, I mean, I've got to say Tutbury because it was one of his
Was Tutbury,
favourites, but
yeah.
there were so many. There were so many different places that he enjoyed going to.
Yeah.
Um, he loved Kinnety Castle in Ireland.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, he loved there because there was such a diverse of personalities that were there.
Brilliant.
Um, yeah, there were so many places that he loved to go to, and he
Yeah,
loved to go to new places as well because it was a new challenge and a new.
that's
But
right.
I would say that yeah, Warwick Castle. That's another
That
place
is
he.
beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, he 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 went there on a couple of occasions. One was for a TV program where he scared the living daylights out of some poor woman that was winning a holiday for her husband. But
That sounds funny. Tell us more.
I've forgotten what the program was called. It was Ian Wright. Is it Ian Wright, the
Oh
footballer?
gosh, the right stuff, or was it? I don't know.
I've forgotten what the program was called, but
Yeah,
it was Ian Wright, the footballer, and he had a program where people could win a prize for somebody, whether it be the husband, wife, son, daughter, whatever.
yeah.
But this particular person had entered the competition. She wanted to win a holiday for her and her husband in an underwater hotel or something. Sounded bizarre
Okay,
to me, but anyway,
that was a bit. I wouldn't like
she,
that.
she had to spend the night in Warwick Castle on her own, but of course she wasn't on her own.
Well, yeah, that's it.
He played lots of dirty tricks on her.
Awesome.
But taking that program aside, no, Derek loved Warwick Castle. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. He did. Um, yeah. As I say, each place that he visited, it was different. I mean, he
yeah.
loved going on the Jack the Ripper, uh,
Wow.
you know, sort of going
Yeah,
to the different
Whitechapel
places
area.
and sort of investigating there, and he did that in first in gosh the mid 90s, I think it was.
Wow.
Um, Yeah, and there were places that he went to that were never televised, and nobody probably knows about.
Mhm.
Sort of places in Liverpool, he'd get a call and, oh, will you come here and have a look, because there's something going on, and he used to enjoy doing that too, because yeah, it was helping the people that were.
That is lovely. Yeah.
But nobody would know about it because it was never publicized or televised. It
That
wasn't
is
for
lovely that he did that
anything.
because people do need help
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, he'd often go. He'd
That
often
is
go
great.
out. I mean, as you can imagine, he used to get an awful lot of people writing to him
Oh
or
gosh, yeah, no
whatever,
doubt.
sort of saying, "Oh, would you come and help?" And he used to go out quite often to places and help where he could, or phone up and but as I say, it's not anything that was ever publicized
Oh wow.
or spoken about or whatever, because it was what he did away from the public arena.
That's right. Like you only see a tiny bit. This is it. And
Mm.
it's like what the basis of people's opinion is, isn't it? Yeah, because
Well, this
people
is
never
it.
get
Yes.
to know the real
Yeah.
person.
No, 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 no. I mean, I think people used to think that Derek used to appear on stage or appear on television and then live the rest of his life in a box somewhere. And he didn't. He
Yeah.
didn't, sort
Well,
of,
no.
he was a perfectly ordinary man, as every medium is. They're a perfectly ordinary person with their own lives to live, their own passions to follow, sort of, or interests or whatever. I mean, Derek loved football and
Yeah.
the place would be alight if Liverpool was playing, sort of,
Oh, I
and
bet.
you wouldn't have dreamed it was a medium. You were supposed to be, sort of
Yeah,
very,
what
very
should you be if
direct
you're a
with
medium, you
things.
know?
But yeah, yeah, sort of nobody ever knows the real person behind a public
Oh, no,
somebody that
that's
puts public
right.
out because they're ordinary people.
Well, that's it. People just put them on a pedestal and, and like, everyone's real, like, even, the king, whatever, they're just people, aren't they? When all's said and done,
Of
and,
course they are.
you
Yeah,
know.
of course they are. I can remember being told years and years and years ago. I mean, I knew nothing about mediumship before I met Derek. I didn't even know what a medium was. I thought it was a size, so small, medium,
All right,
large.
yeah.
Um, I knew what psychics were, but as far as sort of mediums, I didn't know anything. And I can remember that Derek took me on a couple of occasions to a spiritualist church, which was all
Oh,
new
wow.
and terribly fascinating because I've
Yeah.
always been fascinated by the paranormal. It's always been something that I've been interested
Yeah, that's good.
in not sort of seeking it out sort of a way, but if the subject came up, I was, oh yeah, I'm interested in that. So anyway, Derek introduced me to the spiritualist churches, and I can remember there was a couple who used to demonstrate at the spiritualist church in Liverpool. God, what was it called? Can't remember what the place was called. But yeah, it was one of the spiritualist churches in Liverpool. And I can remember Mr. and Mrs. Dane. Mr. Dane used to do philosophy, which was fascinating.
Yes.
And Mrs. Dane used to do mediumship. And I can always remember
Wow.
her sort of coming to me on this occasion saying, never put a medium on a pedestal. Those words on board.
Oh,
So
bless you.
Derek never did achieve his pedestal in this
Oh,
household.
bless him.
But I think this is something that people do.
Yeah.
They're fascinated and they think, oh, this is somebody really, really special. And yeah, they've got an extraordinary gift, but they're ordinary people.
Yeah,
And that
that's
was the
right.
message she was trying to get over to me, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and he just came across as like a really warm character, and yeah, when you meet him as well, it's a shame I just met him the once, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
did, and that was lovely. And I remember that encounter, and I've got a selfie with him, and you,
oh,
but
wow.
you don't need a selfie, do you? You just remember. There's certain times when you do things that you just don't forget, do you? And yeah, I remember that evening, and yeah.
Yeah.
It was brilliant, and we've got given a little ghost as well. I was gonna
Oh,
try and
wow.
find that as well, and a little
It
thing to put
goes.
wishes in it as well. Yeah, but yeah, yeah, it is. But I didn't really know about mediumship, and then you kind of find it one way or another, and it is interesting, and it helps so many people as well, doesn't it?
It does.
You
Yes.
know,
Yeah. This is something that I think is invaluable. The help that mediumship gives to people
yeah, that's right.
in all sorts of facets of the life, not just in bereavement and wanting to
That's
connect
it.
with lost loved ones, but it helps people have a belief in themselves and
Yeah.
to carry on
Mhm.
when the chips seem down.
Yeah,
It gives that ray of hope to
that's
people.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd because I didn't mean to do mediumship. I did it for a laugh in a way. I did development because they're doing ghost hunting and development. I thought, well, I'll go along, but I'm really
Mm,
interested in the ghost hunting side. And I
mm,
just got intrigued by it. And then I
yeah.
lost my mum. So that really helped me to get through that. Just learning
Yeah.
that there was something else there and that,
Yeah.
it really did help,
Yeah.
and it's the timing of it as well.
Mm,
It's just amazing how it just came up and that was that.
mm, mm.
I did have a question. Do you ever feel Derek around you then?
Um, Not particularly, no. I think that you asked me this,
Yeah, I
maybe
did. I did ask
at
you. Yeah,
Sudbury. And I told you about the time that I actually saw Derek, but it was
yeah,
before he physically passed over.
yeah.
Um, I've felt him on a couple of occasions. Once I was peeling potatoes
Oh
in this
wow.
very room, and I felt him standing next to me. Um, and there've been the very odd occasion that I've known he's been around. These two dogs, they are more aware than I am. They I suspect see him quite often
Yeah.
coming
Oh
through the door
wow.
in here because but no, I don't. But I think, as I also said to you on Friday the 13th, Barry said to me when I was railing at him, why isn't he here with me?
Oh
Why?
bless. Yeah.
We spent 30 odd years together. We were, sort of, we were tight. We were everything to one another. Why isn't he? And he said, were you clairvoyant before? And I
Mm.
said, no. And he said, well, what makes you think that you would be clairvoyant now?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's it.
why would you think that you would see him now when you
Yeah.
didn't see anything beforehand? And that sort of struck a chord with me, sort of that you can't expect to suddenly start seeing when
That's
you never
it. Yeah.
sort of had that gift before.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. Like, I think I started on this route because of my mum in a way, because I
Mm,
did want to sort of make contact myself, and I may
mm,
have done in a meditation, I
mm.
think, and but yeah, I think I know when Dad's around, but I'm not, but ultimately you want them with you, don't you?
Yeah,
And
it's sort of
it's,
fleeting sort of thing. Yeah,
but yeah, they're having a laugh.
yeah. You see,
But
Derek, when I lost my mum and my dad, Derek was around, and my belief in an afterlife is innate. Sort of, it happens that there is an afterlife. In
yeah,
what form, I don't know.
that's
But
it.
having Derek here, sort of shoring up that belief, was totally different to when he went back home and there was nobody here to sort of say to me, sort of give that
Yeah,
those assurances, because I was here on my own thinking, why the hell aren't I seeing him? Sort of,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do
it's
get that. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Oh, bless you. I've got a question from Amanda then. Was there anywhere that Derek didn't like to go because of negative energy and spirits?
Well, no, I can't think of anywhere that he wouldn't go or didn't want to go particularly, because negative spirits he used to deal with in a positive way. Um, that has got nothing to do with TV programs that are made for entertainment.
Bless you.
They we're not going on
Yeah.
that. But no, I can't think of anywhere that he said, no, I won't go, because where there are negative spirits, there are always positive spirits as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sort of, there's nowhere that I can think of off the top of my head that is so totally negative that he would say,
Yeah.
no,
Made him
I'm
stay
not
away.
going,
Yeah.
because yeah, unusually the negative spirits were outnumbered by the positive spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So I
better.
can't think of anywhere that he didn't like to go, or wouldn't go, or no, I can't remember him turning anywhere down.
Oh,
Sort of
bless
as
it.
far as
Yeah.
going in whatever. Um, no,
Oh,
no,
that's
there was
impressive.
nowhere that he would say, no, sorry, I'm
Oh,
not
that's
going.
lovely. Yeah, that's great.
No.
I've got a good question here from Mandy Bell. He had Sam with him then, but did Derek ever
Mm,
bring an attachment home with him?
no,
That
never,
I bet Sam was there
never,
with him then, stopping it.
never. Um,
Yeah.
Derek would go to a venue and do whatever it was that he was doing, and he would protect himself,
Ah,
and
interesting.
he never, not once in the whole of the time that I knew him, did he ever bring any negativity home with him.
Wow,
Not,
okay. Do you
not
know how
ever.
he protected himself? Did he have a special way, or you're aware of that, just in case it helps somebody
Um,
else?
it was something that he did with before he did anything. He wouldn't vocalize it, but it was
Yeah,
something that he mentally did, and
that's
it
brilliant.
was a protection of white light that he
That's
would,
brilliant, yeah.
if he was asked to vocalize it, that was, he sort of bathe himself in the white light of positivity, and
Yeah,
um and and that was it. But
that's
he
brilliant,
never,
yeah.
ever, ever brought anything, or
Yeah,
said anything about any, and I certainly never
y
experienced, I've never
yeah.
experienced any negativity in the home in any way
Oh,
whatsoever,
that's brilliant,
as a
yeah.
result of him coming home from somewhere that was really horrible, um,
Yeah,
or going through sort of somewhere where horrible events had taken place.
yeah.
So no, no, he never brought an attachment home with him.
Oh, wow, that's brilliant. I've got
Mm.
Rachel Farrow here, and she
Mm.
won the Derek Acorah Memorial Award.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, so obviously her life's changed because of Derek and Barry, because of this award
Yes,
and
yes.
because of Barry
Yeah.
as well, so she's
Oh,
forever
yes,
grateful
yes.
and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Barry's always been a great advocate of both Derek and Colin.
yeah,
He
yeah.
worked with Colin. He never actually worked with Derek, but he worked with Colin,
Oh, wow.
especially in Colin's latter months when he was terribly, terribly ill. And Barry went on stage with him and for him, and yeah, yeah. He's
Oh,
he's he's a lovely man, Barry. Yeah.
yeah, he is.
Mm.
So say hi to Patricia and Farrar. She was at Tutbury that day as well. You met Patricia on Friday the
Yes.
13th.
Yes. Yes.
Love that you choose to do for a laugh and then love doing it. So, well, missed that one. So however good you are, you still learn every day. So Ian's a medium as
Oh,
well, and
absolutely. Yes.
you know
Yes.
it.
Derek would
It's a fascinating world.
certainly
It really
endorse that,
is.
because he said many a time, you never stop learning. there's no such thing as as achieving the top,
That's right. Yeah.
because there is no top.
But somebody like, when they put themselves on the pedestal, say they're an expert, and like, well, how can you be an expert in something like that? Because you don't, you don't know. It's
No.
one of those, isn't it? Really.
Well, you see, there are so many different and diverse situations
That's
from
right.
my view, and there are so many different and diverse personalities going into
Yeah,
that those situations. So how can anybody say that they are better than another person at handling it because they're just doing it in a different way?
that's right.
You
That's
know,
it.
and also where spirits people are concerned, it's my view that I'm not you, you're not me, I'm not the chap next door or the woman
Yeah,
next door or whatever. We're all different personalities. So it follows that when we go over, those personalities will carry on. And because maybe I don't like the chap next door, does that make him a bad person?
that's right. Yeah,
You know,
yeah. We sort of
because,
get our own feelings about people instantly, but it
oh,
doesn't
this is
mean they're
it.
bad
Yeah.
or
So
good or
one person's bad is not necessarily the next person's
no.
bad.
It's just some sort of lack
Good.
of chemistry issue,
Yeah.
isn't it? Rather
Yeah.
than whatever,
It's
really.
very complicated.
Yeah, it is. We're complicated, aren't as a person, like
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
everything, even like one day, like, oh, what are you going to eat? There's all different variations to every single day, and that's just
Yeah.
one person. So then you get the spirit world with, well, all that history, all the different years, and all the
Yeah.
different events happening and things like that. It's absolutely mad, isn't it? So I've got Leslie watching, so she's asked about protection, so I've mentioned that one. So,
Ah,
I'm not very good with protection. That's why I have problems. But it's all part of the learning game, isn't it?
it is.
But yeah, I just love it. Somebody said, what was Ian Griffiths says, what was the best TV program Derek loved doing the most?
Predictions with Derek Acorah.
Oh wow.
He loved doing that program. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. And he liked Derek Acorah's Ghost Towns. That was another one he loved doing too.
Oh yeah, I think Carl
Yeah.
mentioned that one on the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. I've still got the
Yeah.
signpost in well, it's
Oh,
Derek's room. It's still there.
oh, beautiful. Yeah, so cool, like they were. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He liked those two programs because it was going out to different people, different places, meeting people, and being sort of sort of in the thick of things. Yeah, he
yeah.
liked that. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Carl, Ian, like the
Oh, the
Ghost
Haunted
Town
Antique
and
Show.
Haunted Antique Show.
Derek was so nervous before that,
Oh,
I
was
can
it?
oh, he was. It was filmed at a I can't remember the name of the place, but it was somewhere down in Surrey, I think. But it was this house. It was a beautiful house, and it had a massive gardens that went back. And I can remember before the first program was started, Derek was so nervous. Absolutely, it was so nervous, and
That's
we
it.
were on the terrace behind, smoking away, as we both did,
Bless you.
and I still do. Um, and he said, "Oh, I don't know whether I can do this," because
Oh,
it was a big ask. It really was a big ask because he didn't know what was going to be wheeled in. He
yeah.
he he, he had no clue. Um, And I said, we'll go and hug a tree.
No.
That's what we tottered down these the into the gardens where there were these massive old trees, and
Oh, wow.
we did a bit of tree hugging, and he felt
Oh,
better.
bless you. It calmed him down.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that
And
is lovely.
yeah,
Yeah.
we found it very grounding.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit sort of, some people would say weird.
I think what I do
Some
is
people
weird
would say in
generally.
a disparaging tone, oh, bloody tree huggers. But it's
Yeah.
amazing. It can be very therapeutic hugging your tree.
I do. I
He
totally
hugged
get
two
it.
trees in Salem, Massachusetts. You know, any of these Salem witches, when he did a program there. I don't think it was ever showed in England, actually.
Oh, wow.
I
That's a
think it
shame.
was America only.
I
But
wonder if it's
yeah, we went
available
to Salem
somewhere.
in Massachusetts to do the Salem witches. And yeah, he hugged a couple of trees there. Yeah,
Oh, bless him. Yeah, but
yeah.
I find it's beneficial. Like, say you're having a really bad day, then if you go up to the woods, it really, it really helps.
Going
Nature
out
can
into
help.
going out into the countryside's very grounding.
Oh, it is.
I
Yeah.
love walking the dogs, sort of, and going through the woods, and sort of being at one with nature. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, bless you.
Mm,
So, Patricia and from met Derek at Derby, Tutbury, Matlock, Dudley as well. Always kind and lovely to talk to.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
Dudley Castle, yes, yeah.
Now that's an interesting place as well, isn't it? Because you got the animals, but I didn't hear the
Well, they
animals.
did. Are they still there? I don't
Yeah, they
know.
are. Yeah, I
Oh,
went to
are they?
ghost hunt and I thought, well, where are these animals? Because I didn't see anything. All you see is
Yeah,
the castle bit. It's like, well, you've got all these great big animals riding somewhere.
yeah.
It's like,
I
yeah.
can remember. I can remember years back. In fact, I think somebody did an adoption thing for one of the orangutans in Dudley Zoo or something
Oh,
for
wow.
Derek. Um,
Brilliant.
yeah, but I didn't know they were still there.
Yeah, they are.
It's a hell of a hike up to that castle. I know that much.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I sort of went up there at night and yeah, beautiful view. But yeah, it's amazing. I did
Mm,
like it, yeah, but I've just been there once, but
yeah,
I'd sort of
that
like to
was
go around the zoo sometime.
the
Sorry.
first Most Haunted Live was done at Dudley Castle, and it was fabulous.
Oh, wow.
It was absolutely fabulous. It was the best live ever. It
Yeah.
really was,
Because
because it
nobody knew
was
what to expect,
magical.
did they? That was the
No,
thing.
no, no. Well, Most Haunted had only been aired in was it the May or the June? It had been filmed in the January of 2002, was it?
2002, I think.
And it aired in the June, the silly season, because nobody thought that anybody would watch it. And it was only on for half an hour, the first series.
Wow.
And it was exploded. It
Yeah.
exploded. And so they did a special at Levens Hall in Cumbria in the July. I can remember that. And that was an hour long. Ooh. And then they decided to do a Halloween live at Dudley Castle. And it was, as I say, it was magical. It was the
Wow.
best live ever. And I've got some fabulous photographs of Derek that
Oh, brilliant.
just sort of embodied it all.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it was so new, and that's what got me into ghost hunting in a way. Because I
was
watched
it?
first series of Most Haunted 2002. New
Yeah,
year, me and my ex decided, well, let's find out if ghosts existed. So we
yeah.
then booked on a ghost hunt at National Galleries of Justice, National Justice Museum, Nottingham.
Oh, yeah,
And we
yeah.
also booked to go to Derby Jail, and Jason Carr was there. So we did
Right.
the ghost walk, and then we did that, and it's like, oh, that's petrified. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Oh,
the first
well,
ones are amazing.
Jason was absolutely another, sort of he's a marvelous friend to this day,
Oh,
Jason.
that's fantastic. Yeah,
Uh, we've always kept in touch with Jason. Yeah, he's a lovely, lovely man, very knowledgeable,
yeah.
and yeah, he was fabulous. He is
Yeah,
fab.
he was so lovely. That was the first time, I
Yeah,
well, the only time I've met him, and first time I'd done anything like that. And it's like, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, and something
yeah,
weird happened. It's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
scream, but yeah, things change. Do a
yeah,
lot more and enjoy it. But I've got a
yeah.
lovely question here from Rachel. Then, and now Rachel is a great medium, but she says, did Derek ever have a time in his life where he felt disconnected to his spirit world?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
When he wasn't working, he wasn't sort of
Oh, okay. Didn't pick up on.
sort of he wasn't thinking about his working with spirit.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
He 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 had time out,
Good.
usually
Yeah.
watching football. Um, I don't think he was thinking very much about spirit on
Yeah.
those occasions. But yeah, I mean, when he was at home, he used to. He had a room here that is still there as it always was,
Oh, wow.
where he'd sit and just contemplate. I wouldn't say meditate, I'd say contemplate.
Yeah.
And he'd play a bit of music and this sort of thing, and just have a quiet time, really. And I think that was sort of what he was clearing his mind and this sort of thing. But when he was here, sort of walking the dogs or watching football or cleaning the chicken shed out, or I was moaning at him because he walked on a carpet with dirty feet, or I don't think, no.
God bless
He
you.
was he was disconnected from spirit on those occasions. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
he lived an ordinary life at home.
That's great. So what
Mm.
what did you do? Did you go out for meals, or did you go, what was your, if you went out, what would you generally do?
Um,
Not football.
no, I didn't like
I thought
football.
not.
No, we'd go out for a meal, or we'd go for a drive somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got I've I've got to admit that I used to love going to places and finding old pubs and going for lunch and then saying to him, "Can you see anything?
You have to, yeah. That's
Is
right.
there anything around?"
Oh, bless you. Did he get hassled a lot though, or did people just let him get on with it?
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah. Depends.
It's people used to respect his privacy.
Good.
If we were most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, if we were out for a meal, we used to sort of basically go to the same place because they'd be careful, so because people have been known to sort of come
Oh,
up. You've just got your dinner and sort of they come and sit at the table next to you going, "Have you got anything for me?"
oh God, yeah. Oh, not what
And
you
he
need,
was
yeah.
so kind. He was so kind. He really was. He was so patient.
Oh,
Me,
bless
not
him.
so much. Um,
I wouldn't be. No, you've had a rough week or whatever, and you go and have a meal, and like the last thing you want, yeah, I bet the words going through your head are a bit, yeah,
but yeah, so it's funny when you're walking down say if we went into Southport, we were going for a coffee or something like that. and you people nudging one another in this sort of hysterical corner, you know, sort of.
Yeah.
And
It must be weird to
sometimes
watch
they'd
kids,
stop him, but you know, sort of most times they'd just sort of nudge one another, and yeah.
yeah, trying to ignore. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, did you like sort of have a game between you to see how long it would take before someone noticed, or
Oh, it
did you?
didn't take long.
I bet as soon as Derek spoke, probably as well, you know, because he
Yeah,
was tall as well, wasn't he? So he was tall, wasn't he? Like, taller than me, but he was his presence, you know, his presence. He
yeah,
walks in the room, you know, he's there, don't you?
yeah. He had that sort of personality.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, sort of, and yeah, yeah. I mean, you were saying, you know, sort of about his him being people for some reason thought he was small.
yeah.
I don't know why they thought he was small, but he was actually 6 foot. You
Was he?
know, he was built sort of quite, you know,
Yeah,
sort of. He was quite
yeah.
uh, a strong build, you know, sort of thing. I don't know where they got the idea that he was this
Yeah,
little
so I
thing.
met him. I can't remember the photo, but I think he was sitting down, so I can't really tell. That's the thing. But yeah, I can't. When I spoke to him, I can't remember how far. Well, I'm
Yeah,
used to looking up at everybody, aren't I? I'm only
yeah.
5'3", so yeah, like I think everyone's taller than me nearly, so it's there, isn't it? I've got Eileen here. She said you went to a mining museum, probably Edinburgh direction. Did you eat the haggis? She gave me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We loved haggis. We loved,
Oh,
well, I still love haggis.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I met Eileen when I went up to Scotland.
yeah.
Phil always remember Derek saying to me he didn't like wearing his suits but loved his tracksuits.
That's
They're more
very true.
comfortable. But
That is
yeah,
so true.
that's it though, isn't it? Like you have to wear these things, but if you
Well,
don't have
yes,
to, you know what I mean? You just
it
do want to
was
be
sort of
comfy, don't you?
expected of it. If it had been able to go out in a tracksuit, yeah, he would have worked in a tracksuit given the opportunity, but I wouldn't let him.
Bless you. Oh, it's wonderful. So where did you go on holiday? What was your favourite holiday then?
We used to go on cruises,
Oh
so we
wow.
went all over the world.
Pure
There was
escape
no
then.
particular place that uh, we went all the time. We used
Yeah.
to look for places, cruises that had well, we'd never ports that we'd never been before. So
Well, that's
consequently, as I say,
lovely.
we just went all over the world.
So I guess you pick things up in other different countries as well.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
We went to Petra,
Oh my
um,
gosh, I've always wanted to go there because my dad nearly went, yeah.
which was absolutely
Stunning.
fascinating,
Yeah.
and which was amusing at the same time because we're looking at the treasure house. We're standing in the front of the treasure house in
Wow.
Petra after having walked through the
I get
it's amazing.
claustrophobic.
It's like a dry riverbed, and it's sort of the walls are very tall, you know, sort of. So you're walking along, and you turn a corner, and there's the treasure house in front of you,
Wow.
and you go, "Wow, you know, sort of. This is absolutely amazing." So we're standing in front of the treasure house in Petra, and we
Wow.
hear this voice saying, "Derek Acorah, will you sign my book?"
Oh my God, I know.
And this chap, who I don't know, he must, you know, so he was on a trip to, and he must have brought a book to read, and it happened to be Derek's,
Has
and
to
there's
be.
Derek Acorah. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, and the Mayan ruins as well in Mexico. They're fascinating.
I've been to Chichen Itza and Uxmal.
Oh
So
wow,
I've toured the Yucatan Peninsula. That was beautiful.
yeah.
Wow.
There, there,
Yeah.
There are amazing, amazing places
Yes,
throughout the world.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
want to go back to
that
Mexico.
that was the that's where we used to go on holiday. Everyone.
Yeah. There are so many places to see though, aren't there?
Well, this is it. This is you see with cruising, you don't have to pack. You just
No,
go on board, and
just go.
you're there for the duration. There's no packing and unpacking and this sort of thing. And if you don't like a place, you know that you're only there for a day
Yeah,
anyway. But if you do like a place, you can book a holiday and go there for a week or a fortnight or whatever.
that's it.
That's what we liked about it.
Yeah, it is handy. Yeah, it's a handy way.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, of all the places that you went then, where was the most fascinating country for you or area?
Um, I would say Egypt. We did um Derek did the Paranormal Egypt program, so we were there for 6 weeks,
Wow.
and we saw so much of
Yeah.
of Egypt and places that isn't open to tourists and this sort of thing. So I would say that was the most fascinating of places.
Yeah. At
Um,
least you get a better idea of the country then, don't you?
you do.
The
It
real
was
Egypt rather than
the
tourist.
most one of the memories that will remain in my mind forever, or is Derek was filming at the pyramid, the Great Pyramid, and
Yeah.
I was on my own by the vehicles, and it was the call to pray. It was the sun was going down, the pyramid was in front of me, and I could hear the call
Oh,
to prayer, and it was one of the most magical moments ever
wow.
to to hear
Gosh.
stillness, sort of thing. It was fabulous. Yeah, and Egypt was amazing. Yeah,
It's
it
fantastic.
was. Yeah, because we were there for so long and saw so much.
Yeah. Because, yeah, everyone wants to go and see the pyramids, but you hear mixed reports, because it's right near
Yeah.
Cairo and you get the smog and everything, maybe. I haven't
Well,
been and
they filmed in the Cairo Museum at
yeah.
night when it was empty,
Ah, that's better, yeah.
and it was silent. And these sort of enormous
Beautiful.
great, sort of it was an amazing experience. We were so
Yeah.
privileged in a lot of the things that we did, and a lot of the things that we saw,
Oh,
and
wow.
sort of it was yeah, we were so
That's lovely,
privileged.
but you deserve it. You worked hard, didn't he? And, you do these things
He did
and
work
it's
hard, but I
lovely.
mean, the places that he was invited to, and the people were so kind and lovely. Sort of Chatsworth
That's
House, and
brilliant.
all over the place, all over the
Yeah.
place. Sort of
Oh, bless you.
yeah, and Tutbury.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
wow.
was yeah, wonderful experiences.
That's lovely. But did he pick up a lot, sort of mediumship wise, from Egypt? Did he pick up on the
Oh,
Pharaoh side
um,
of things?
yeah, not so much the pharaohs.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know how far you can go back because very often they don't bring back from that far
No,
ago as well.
it was sort of picking up on feelings and
Oh,
psychic sort
wow.
of experience, not sort of communication as such.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just fascinating.
yeah, but it was absolutely amazing. Yeah, very hot. I,
Oh,
I, ca- I, we went out into the desert to film at a ruins of some sort can't even remember where it was, but we were the whole crew we, were invited to have lunch at this village, and it was in the middle of the desert, and it was sort of
Wow.
it, the village was only very small, and we were in the head of the village's house, and
Wow. Beautiful.
they'd obviously collected everybody's knives and forks and plates and this sort of thing, because none of it was matching, sort of thing. But they were so
Bless you.
kind, so kind. But I was terrified of eating anything,
Oh,
sort of,
wow.
because oh my God.
Yeah.
But no,
You
they
did
were,
quite know.
they were so kind. But
Oh,
yeah. But when you sort of on the felucca on the Nile, and the chap who's steering this thing scoops his water bottle into the Nile and says, "Would you like water?" And you think, "No, maybe not." I saw it just down the road. I saw somebody washing the cow.
yeah. It's back in the day, we used to, well, when I first went to Spain, it's like, don't have ice, it's bad for you, and don't have
Oh
lettuce
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
muddy water.
Back
And
in the day, yeah,
back
yeah,
in those days, like, oh my
yeah,
gosh, it just, yeah, I
yeah.
did go to the Gambia
Those
once.
Spain's cleaned up their act a lot
Oh
since those
gosh, yeah,
days.
that's it. I did go to Gambia once, and we were lucky to go to this guy's house, his homestead. Took
Yeah,
2 hours to get there, and giving money to the police and all sorts of stuff. We got there,
yeah,
and then they cooked food for us, and it was like interesting, it was like
yeah.
fascinating, but it's like nowhere to wash your hands or water, or it's yeah, but it's a fascinating
Yeah.
experience. And
I mean, people are so kind and they're so welcoming.
oh, wow, yeah, that's
But
right.
sort of you're so afraid of offending
Yeah,
without.
we were concerned because my ex he ate with the wrong hand, so I think he was left-handed, so he ate with his left hand. And that was
Oh,
against, and he shouldn't have done.
of
So
course, they
we
eat with the right
yeah,
and do the
because
rest of
yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff. The with the left. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, we sort of asked Mustafa, has sort of said, "Well, do you mind?" Because we'd got this guidebook, so whenever we went to a different country, we'd buy the rough guide, so at least you got an idea. And it's
Yeah,
like, "Well, do you mind this?" So we knew what gift to get, and we knew it was safe to accept the offer to go there. And it's changed a lot now, but then you didn't have the internet or much to go on, really.
no, no,
And
no.
yeah, traveling is fascinating, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, I love traveling. Yeah, I
yeah,
do.
that's brilliant. Have you got any? Are you going to go away somewhere, or
Oh yes, yes.
yeah,
I shall continue.
yeah? Got anywhere
Um,
planned?
I want to go to Norway. I've never seen the
Mm,
Northern Lights, and I'd
I
love to
want
go
to go.
and see
Yeah.
the Northern Lights. And another place that I'd like to go to, I want to go to the Calgary Stampede. I've never been there.
Wow. Awesome.
Mm.
Yeah. I did go to Norway, but then again, they didn't have the app then. What told you when the Northern Lights were around?
Oh, right,
So I did
right,
go on a
yeah.
mini cruise. It's like -20. We arrived in Bergen. It was snowing. We
Wow.
went to a fjord, beautiful and stunning. But because the drinks were cheaper on the boat for the Norwegian people, they just got
Right.
totally hammered as soon as I got on the boat. And we hit. Then as soon as we're off the main coast, around from Stavanger into the sea, that was it. For
Yeah.
a bit of a gale and a bit of a rocky boat. It was yeah, interesting trip. What can you say? But that's a joy of traveling, though. You just get all these
Oh,
stories. And
yes. Yeah, we always loved traveling
yeah,
wherever.
and
Um,
it's just a
and
different
amazingly,
feeling.
we traveled a lot in the UK. It's
Yeah,
not amazing.
brilliant.
That was a stupid thing to say, but we travelled a lot in the in the UK, and it's a wonderful place.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know,
You've got
sort of
so
the
you've
they're
got your
everywhere, aren't
Cornwall, and
they?
then you've got the other side, haven't you, Scotland? So you just, yeah,
Mm,
just so
yeah.
different, isn't it? Different areas, and
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
so apart
Yeah.
from Liverpool area, what area do you like in the UK?
I like the West Country,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Cornwall. I love
Yeah,
Scotland.
yeah,
I do
I
love
do.
Scotland.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, and the Yorkshire Dales.
yeah.
I love the Yorkshire Dales.
So
So
different,
those are my
isn't it?
favourite places.
Yeah, yeah, and each one of those is so different in the way it is,
Mm,
really. And yeah, it's lovely,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
I went, met Eileen Murray, and a few others, and I went touring around Scotland for 14 nights. That was
yeah.
lovely, just me and my dog. So
Oh, it
just
is.
to go,
Scotland's fabulous.
oh,
Yeah,
it's absolutely stunning. Then I actually did end up for the last night in the Yorkshire Dales to cut out the journey, but yeah,
yeah,
but it's just fascinating. Have you still got your
yeah.
house in Spain then?
No, I sold it at the
Oh,
beginning of this year. I
go
sold
away.
it.
Yeah.
Um, it was sad, but I didn't go there. And the one time that I went there, it just wasn't the same.
No, it's
Um,
hard, isn't it?
it didn't feel the same. I didn't want to be there without Derek.
Yeah.
So I gathered together the things that were in Spain that I really, really wanted, had them
Yeah.
shipped here, and I sold up. It was stupid keeping it because I was paying the gardener, I was paying the pool man, I
Mm.
was paying the utility bills and this and that
Yeah.
for nothing. So it was
Yeah.
stupid to keep it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's hard to break that, isn't it?
It
But
was
then,
very, very difficult.
yeah.
It was and terribly, terribly sad.
Oh
But
gosh, yeah.
it was the end of an era, you know.
Yeah,
We'd
that's
we'd
right.
had it for sort of 20 years,
Oh wow,
and
bless
it
you.
was just time to let go. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it would never have been the same.
Oh gosh, no, no, things do change that, and yeah, that's it. So
Yeah.
it's just fascinating. Did you go with Derek a lot then when he was traveling with work? Did you go to a lot of the places with
Yes.
him? Yeah,
Well, yeah, as far as investigations are concerned, yes, I went to virtually all of them.
that's brilliant. Yeah.
And I went to most of his theatre shows, even though people didn't
Uh,
know that I was sitting in the green room, in the changing room. I was there.
yeah.
But yeah, so I went more or less everywhere with him. Sort of all the most haunted locations. I was with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
did.
fascinating, like, wow, the places you've been to.
Yeah, yeah. It was we're very privileged, sort of going over to America and staying on the Queen Mary and
Oh, don't. I want to go there.
um
Yeah.
oh, it's a fabulous ship. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a hotel, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's fabulous because they've maintained all the Art Deco,
Oh,
uh, sort of furnishings and everything. Yeah, it's a fabulous place.
yeah. And
Yeah.
my dad used to work in the engine room when it was
Oh,
actually
did
at
he?
sea.
Of
So
the
I
original
always wanted
UK?
to take my dad there, but he's gone and I never did. And
Yeah,
yeah, I've got a soft spot for it. And I don't know,
yeah,
I've got images of what I think the engine room's like. So I would like to go and just see one day, really. But yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'd also
yeah.
like to go to Gettysburg, and they're opposite sides of the country, and it's like, we're
I've
not
never
used to
been to
flying, are
Gettysburg.
we? Haven't you?
Richard Felix has, and he
Oh, yeah.
he's been a couple of times to Gettysburg, and
Yeah.
and he's fascinating to listen to listen
Yeah.
to, you know. So I mean, I love
Yeah,
Richard. I could listen to Richard all day long.
I've met him quite a
With
few times,
his
sort of help out at the
history.
jail sometimes, so
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's
he's
always stories,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
he
me and
always
Carl have been on a few of his ghost walks round,
have you,
York,
yeah,
Whitby, Derby, Nottingham, so yeah, it's fascinating once he gets his stories and yeah. I had
yeah.
a story to tell him as well, I had one of my first encounters was one of the sort of Derby Jail ghost walks, but,
Oh,
the
really?
first trip, yeah, and, it's wonderful, innit, and I think it's the people you meet as well, isn't it, on this journey?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you've met
Many,
some
many
incredible
wonderful people,
people.
some horrible ones, but many
Oh gosh,
wonderful
yeah.
ones too. I
Yeah.
noticed somebody just flashed up a question saying, "Did anything ever happen to me?" No.
Oh, missed that one. Hey, I've missed that one.
Um, oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
trying to
I
catch
can't
them.
say that anything did. The only
Oh,
thing
wow.
that I can remember happening, and I didn't realize it
Oh,
had
I've got it.
happened, and this is when they were filming, when whether it were Most Haunted or not, I was sort of in the crew room or in a room or whatever, you know, sort of, or just wandering sort of away from the filming. Um, but it was Let Castle in Ireland,
Wow,
which is
yes.
sort of pretty notorious. And the Most Haunted, the Aunt Derek were filming upstairs, which was a spiral
Oh,
staircase.
I hate
You
them.
know, the
Yes.
stone, not a metal one, a stone staircase.
Oh, I hate them.
Um, and I was in the sort of the great hall with there was a huge fireplace, and
Wow.
they'd been, we'd had something to eat there, and the embers of the fire were going down, and so I was here sort of, and I used in those days to take, it was before the days of phone cameras,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was, you know, sort of
Yeah.
cameras,
The film ones as
and
well. The film
it
cameras.
was it was a digital camera. It
Oh,
was
you
a
got
digital
yeah.
camera. It wasn't a real, you know, sort of
Yeah,
stick the
like a
film in.
Sony
It was a digital
Cybershot one.
camera. Yeah. And I used to take photographs. I was in the dark because obviously I couldn't have the lights on because of the
Yeah.
filming in case you know, so it polluted the. So I'd be in the dark and I'd be clicking away and whatever, and never got anything. But this one particular time, I downloaded onto a laptop when we got to a, you know, sort of a place where I could,
Yeah.
the hotel. And there was this figure. And
Wow.
in Let Castle, you've got the door, and it sort of comes into the room, this sort of great hall.
Right,
It's
okay.
not, there's no corridor or anything like
Right,
that.
yeah.
So you've got the door, which is a big door, and then just along the wall there's this sort of fireplace, this huge fireplace, and then the room, to the other side of the door there's the stairs going up into the upper floor, and there's I suppose 8 foot of wall between the door and the stair
Wow, yeah.
place. So I was taking photographs, and when I downloaded, there was this figure, and it was the figure of a man with a sort of conical
Wow.
um, head covering, metal.
Okay.
It looked metal,
Right.
and a not a kilt, sort of like a leather skirt in sections,
Oh, okay.
a sort of what would in Scotland be a tartan. I don't know what it would be in Ireland or wherever,
Wow.
but sort of over his shoulder, and very, very, very long, straggly beard and straggly hair. And I showed it to Carl Beatty, and he dismissed it
Hmm.
as being, sort of some the owner or
Got all
something
dressed
like
up.
who
Yeah.
actually was wearing a flat hat and a pair of trousers, but never mind. Yeah, so obviously and I've still got that photograph somewhere.
Oh, bless
Yeah,
you.
I've
You
still
ought to
got that
share it on
photograph.
your page. Share it.
Yeah, I have actually shared it once before. I'll have to root it
Oh,
out again.
wow. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
lovely to see it.
so that is one thing that I've experienced but didn't realise I was experiencing at the time.
Yeah, it's fascinating to get photos because I do
Yeah,
photography and I've only caught maybe 1 to 2 images really. And
yeah.
you try and
Well,
sort of work out
I've
what it is and why
never
it's
I've
happening.
never really caught anything. I mean,
Yeah,
as I say, I used to use one of these sort of digital cameras,
yeah,
and I had a photograph of the owner or somebody who looked similar, previous or after or whatever,
wow,
I'd say. But there were no photographs of anything of that nature, sort of it was a photograph
yeah,
of Derek or a photograph of this nice dog that had seen, or, or a
yeah.
photograph of Castle. There was nothing, so that you could say, oh, yes, well, that's superimposed on top
Oh,
of this or
wow.
whatever, sort of all the,
Oh.
because I question things, you see. I don't
Well,
just go,
yeah, that's
oh,
right.
it's
Uh,
an orb.
oh, God, don't. What do you think of orbs then? Oh, dear.
They look nice, especially when they've got wings.
Yeah, they've got faces as well, pretty little faces. Look, you can see the eyes in the mouth. Yeah. And then you get all the coloured ones. Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
I tell you what, like first series of Most Haunted, it was about the orbs, and we didn't know any
It was
different
when it
then.
first started
We
off, yeah.
didn't know, I was
It was
like,
all about the orbs and this sort of thing,
yeah,
but in those days, I didn't know any different. I
no,
didn't
I
question it.
didn't. I was
No,
like, oh
no,
my gosh, you've
no,
captured
blimey.
one. Yeah,
Because
I
I'm
was
not
just
a paranormal
fascinated.
investigator, I'm just your average sort of Joe who, yeah, it's just an
Yeah,
orb. Um, Derek used to, it's sort of the sparks, which weren't orbs, these were sparks. He'd say sort
yeah,
of
you can see
first
them. Yeah,
light manifestation of spirit, but the orbs, nah, he
yeah,
didn't really sort of buy into those.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah, it was a strange old thing, most haunted.
Right, it did get me into it, and for that, I don't know. Maybe I would have found it later. I don't know, but I did go to 2 places then, and steadily from then I did carry on doing it. But then it's only when I
Yeah,
went to Matlock Pavilion it got me going every week, and it, it gets a bit much now. You've got to try and do your job during the week, and then weekend it's like ghost hunting time. But oh
yeah.
my gosh, it's so fascinating. It really
It
is.
is. It's a fascinating subject, and I'm still
Yeah,
fascinated by it. Um, Obviously, I don't. It doesn't play the huge part in my life that it used to,
yeah,
but
that's right.
it still fascinates me. Um,
Yeah,
I, I, I I feel sad that um, it's become so commercialized now.
yeah, it is
you
different,
know,
isn't it?
and I feel sad at some of the stuff that I see
Yeah,
that is supposedly
Mm. Yeah.
ghosts captured or whatever, sort of, I mean, the matchstick people, and it's just an app on the phone, or for God's sake,
Yeah. That's
behave yourself.
right. Yeah. That's it. Like, we don't know what we use and whether it's any good. Like, I've got an EDI up there that's been flashing blue earlier, but it could be my internet. Like it's EMF, so the
I
internet can
think
set
I
it
think
off.
the best equipment that anybody can use is themselves.
That's right, and I do.
Sort of, and because everybody feels something.
That's right.
Even sort of, you go, whether you're a believer, you're non-believer, whatever, you go into a place and you feel comfortable, you don't feel comfortable, you feel
Yeah,
nothing, you feel. So I think we're our own
that's it.
best indicator of whether there's something going on or whether there's not something going on, stick at all. But I can go into a house and I can feel comfortable. I can go into a house and feel, ooh, sort of, it doesn't feel right here, or
Yeah, that's right.
I can go into a room and think, oh, I don't like being here,
Yeah,
or feel as though I could quite easily sort of put my feet up and, sort of be very comfortable indeed. So I
yeah.
think, yeah, I think you are your own best psychic
That's true.
equipment.
It really is. Like, I do host events, so I do take various things because I think people sometimes
Yeah,
want to see the lights, and
people do. This
because
it's the same. This is what I found out with Derek doing his uh, one-to-one
yeah,
reading.
yeah,
When he first started out, people would not accept that he could sit there and tell them all sorts of things about them
mhm,
without having a visual aid. So they
yeah,
wanted the tarot cards, they wanted a crystal ball, they wanted some sort of thing that they could say, yes, he's getting it from there. They
yeah,
couldn't get I'm going back to the 80s now,
yeah.
when
Bless you.
I first met him. They couldn't get their head around that actually he didn't need any of these things. He could
That's
just
right.
look at them and pick up on their energy and tell them things about themselves, and communicate, and whatever it was that he did in whatever way he did it. But they wanted a visual, they wanted something to sort of, for the
That's it.
understanding or comfort or whatever, they wanted to say, yeah, well, he did the cards for me, he did the crystal ball,
Yeah.
or he
Got a picture and it like, oh yeah,
did
look, it's got an angel. Right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it is, it has changed a lot though because people didn't discuss it as much in those days, did they? But now it's more open. And is it
No,
bad that it's more open?
no, I
Or is
think
it
it's good
better?
that people
Yeah.
question. I think it's good because once upon a time, you could tell somebody the moon was made of green cheese and they'd believe you,
Oh
sort of. I mean,
gosh,
now
yeah.
people are questioning and asking
That
why,
is,
and I think
yeah.
this is, I think this is why, especially nowadays with all the stuff that goes on, you know, oh, did you hear that? Sort of, when it's somebody knocking or banging under
Yeah.
the table or throwing a bit of pebbles or coppers or whatever, sort of, no, people have got to question. They
Yeah,
can't,
that's right.
they can't accept
Yeah.
that as,
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was on quite a
Whistle.
serious
Oh yes,
investigation.
whistle back. Yeah, sure
I was
thing.
I was on
Yeah.
a quite a serious one day, and then somebody just came out with that phrase, and it's like, "Why are you doing that here?" It's like, "No." But yeah,
I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? You've turned your toes up and you've gone over and you're sitting there on your cloud, or, sort of wearing your wings and this sort of thing. And some knob down here goes, whistle this after me. Of course, yeah, of course I'll whistle. I mean, what? No.
And then get screamed at.
No,
Then
it's
get
not going to
screamed at.
happen. Yeah, or I'll throw your stones back to you, or your ball. No.
Yeah. I know.
No, people have got to question.
I kind of ask for things, but I'm kind of really apologetic, because like I've got a cat ball here. Oh God, somewhere. Oh, there. And it's like, well, it's good, and
Yeah,
if it does it for no reason on demand,
if it's sitting there and you're wanting something,
yeah, and there's no
to
reason,
see whether it can be moved or
yeah,
whatever, whether the force of energy can move it, fine.
yeah,
Don't
that's
have a
it.
problem with that. But don't
Yeah,
bounce a tennis ball down a room and ask a spirit to bounce it back to you.
no, no,
No.
it's not going to happen, is it? No, yeah, but you've been on a great journey, haven't you? And it's just fantastic to hear
I'm
your
very
stories.
privileged.
Oh wow, bless you. But it was so lovely to meet you. All I wanted to do at Tutbury was to give you a massive hug. You're just an amazing person. You really are. And
I'm
it's
not
just great
really.
to meet you. Wow. Oh, it's just lovely to meet you that day. It was a good night, wasn't it?
It
It
was a
really was.
fabulous night, yes,
Yeah.
it really was. It really was. Just a pity the weather was so bad.
I know. That was it. Oh
There
God.
again. Seems to be a theme at the moment, doesn't it,
Oh,
with
I
weather?
know. That's right. Yeah. Oh, Eileen says thanks for the memories. But yeah. But yeah, it's the reason I did watch Most Haunted, and yeah, I kind of stopped watching it ages ago. So
Most
connected.
Haunted brought people's attention
It
to
did.
the paranormal in a huge way. And, sort of Derek, in his own way, thanked Most Haunted, because without Most Haunted, he wouldn't possibly have gone to the places that he went to. He maybe would not have been asked onto some of the programs he wants asked onto,
Yeah, that's right.
it, so yeah, it's just, a pity it turned out the way that it did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, but you did get a lot out of it. You got a lot of good memories, and that's
Oh,
what's to look
absolutely,
back
yes,
on, isn't it? And
absolutely. I mean,
it's just so
there are some
fascinating.
places that we wouldn't have gone without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So,
want to thank you so much for the chat. It's been absolutely lovely.
oh, you're welcome. It was good. I
Oh,
enjoyed it.
thank you. And at least your dogs are calm now.
Yeah, they both.
Calm
One's
down.
lying down next to my chair, and the other one's on a dog bed. So
Oh, they're happy.
at the moment.
Oh, that's good. Mine was snoring earlier. And it's like, oh my gosh. I just was hoping he wasn't too loud. At least my bird's quiet. Oh, Tony Ferguson's just met right at the end. So, yeah, thanks everyone. And everyone seems to have enjoyed the
Okay.
chat. Patricia as well. Tutbury, a great night. Lovely to meet our friends. Sleep well. And yeah, thank you so much. And thanks everyone for all the questions. And thanks everyone for watching. Okay, take care, everyone. Goodbye. Oh,
Bye.
next week, by the way, Are You Haunted's on, okay? So, same time, and goodbye from me and Gwen. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.